I'd like to know more about the Veil.
Without it, imagine if spirits entered freely. The Fade was not a place one went, but a state of nature like the wind. A world where imagination defines reality, where spirits are as common as trees or grass. Instead, spirits are strange and fearful, and the Fade is a terrifying world touched only by mages and dreamers.
The Dread Wolf, Fen Harel. In elven tales, he tricks their gods into sealing themselves away in the beyond for all time.
So, you're elves from ancient times, before the Tevinter Imperium destroyed Alathan.
The Shemlin did not destroy Alathan. We Elven warred upon ourselves. By the time the doors to this sanctuary closed, our time was over.
In all Thedas, I never expected to find someone who could draw my attention from the Fade. You have become important to me. More important than I could have imagined. And I am sorry. I distracted you from your duty. It will never happen again.
Solus, don't leave me, not now. I love you.
In another world,
Why not this one?
I can't. I'm sorry.
The Exalted Council has become necessary. Orlais would control us. Our real concern is Ferelden. They would see us disbanded entirely.
This claims the elven gods were just Evaneris, powerful, but completely mortal mages.
Was this the start of an uprising? Freed elven slaves against their former masters?
If that's true, Fen Harel was teaching these freed slaves the truth about these false gods.
Please, what the Vidasala is doing, you have to stop her. She's the leader of the Qunari here. She hates magic.
Why did the Qunari think that the Inquisition serves Fen Harel?
I don't know. The Vidasala said it, and we've had agents of Fen Harel causing trouble all over the crossroads. Even as a Templar, I'd never seen anything like the power Sarabas can unleash. And now Vidasala is giving them lyrium. It's part of something she calls Dragon's Breath. There's more to it than that, but I couldn't find out what.
We must find out what Dragon's Breath is first. For now, our only lead is the Qunari leader, the Vidasala.
Someone smuggled Gatlock barrels into the Winter Palace.
At least now we know the true extent of the Dragon's Breath.
You think the Dragon's Breath is these Gatlock barrels?
Of course, a surprise attack, even through the Illuvians, would have met fierce resistance. But if everyone at the Exalted Council died in an explosion, the South would be rudderless, vulnerable to attack. These are orders for positioning the Gatlock in the palace. When duty has been performed, report to the Vidasala through the mirror marked by a bookcase.
Everything going all right so far?
I don't understand how you just become a Viscount.
When the ruler of a marcher state dies and there's no heir, the nobles of the city pick a new ruler. Only none of Kirkwall's nobles actually want the throne. Most of them think it's cursed, actually. They can't leave it empty, though, or some other state like Starkhaven or Ansburg will probably invade. I complained about the empty office when it interfered with my reconstruction efforts. They took that as volunteering.
So, Bran used to be Viscount, and now he just follows you around?
Provisional Viscount.
Pretty much.
With a permanent appointee, finally, in the Viscount's office, I am free to return to my post as Seneschal.
He means my true calling is arrogantly telling people they can't talk to the Viscount. He's good at it, too.
I'm surprised no one from the Council of Heralds wants your autograph.
You just missed them. Duke Cyril keeps asking me for spoilers from my next book.
We'll talk more another time.
I'll be here if you need me.
I've been meaning to ask. Solus hasn't come back. Sent word? Anything?
I've heard nothing. He's gone.
Ah. I'm sorry.
What is it like, being a warden now?
Things are in upheaval. There have been heated arguments about the future of the Order. I wouldn't be surprised if we tore ourselves apart.
What do you think's going to happen at the Exalted Council?
Maker, I have no idea. Politics always makes my head spin. The Inquisition shouldn't have to give in whenever some prissy noble gets their knickers wedged somewhere.
It's nice to have everyone back in the same place again.
I have to admit I missed it. What does it mean when we need a huge diplomatic talk or the world ending just to bring us together? I got the chance to have a few drinks with Sarah. Miss that girl. It's still a little awkward talking to Cassandra. But the commander appears to have forgiven me. Finally.
Until later.
Take care.
How did Varric, of all people, become the Viscount of Kirkwall? A mystery for the ages.
I hear you've been rebuilding the Seekers.
Slowly, but yes. I managed to find a few of my former comrades who'd scattered to the winds. Some of them were unsuitable, and I did not ask them to return. Others felt as I did, once they read the Lord Seeker's tome. We've since recruited a few candidates who are going through training now, with full disclosure. What comes after this, I cannot be certain. I am making it up as I go along.
Sounds familiar.
I thought you'd appreciate that.
What do you think of the Exalted Council?
They are frightened of your power, and there is no longer a hole in the sky to remind them that it was needed.
They might be right.
Do not say that near them unless you want to give them the scent of blood. Even so, I would wait and see where this leads. Calmer heads may yet prevail.
When has that ever been the case?
I'm an optimist. Just ask Varric.
So what do you think of the Chantry?
You ask me just to poke at me and see if I react, don't you? It is what it is. Most Holy's reforms are interesting, to say the least. I hope they last once Leliana is gone. Regardless of what I think, it could have been far worse. You and I both remember the dark times we faced. Sadly, others have far shorter memories.
I'll see you later.
Farewell.
Quite the party, wasn't it? I hear it left the Orlesians and Fereldans completely aghast. Andraste's herald, the Inquisitor, toasting a Tevinter Magister. Not a bad scandal to leave on.
Any thoughts about the Exalted Council?
A few. Divine Victoria needs a new tailor, for one. From the paintings of Leliana in that enormous robe, you'd think she was pregnant. Could cause a delicious scandal. As for this whole Exalted Council business, well... I warned you once that no one would thank you for saving the world. Sadly, I'm always right. So long as the Inquisition's around to remind them they're not really in charge, they'll never sleep comfortably. Whether they have the guts to take action, I suppose we'll see.
What is this ambassadorship about, exactly?
I believe my father set it up, but the Imperium certainly didn't object. They'd love for the Inquisition to fall apart, so they're happy if it seems they consider this council a waste of time.
That makes no sense.
No? If Dread Tevinter actually pushed for the Inquisition's end, everyone else would disagree on principle. So they send a nobody pariah and hope for the best. Makes perfect sense to me.
What did you do in Tevinter while you were away?
I went home. Twice. Father was only there once. Mother was drunk both times. I also went to Carinus to see my good friend Maeveris. Then I settled some of Alexis's affairs. That wasn't fun.
Things are going well with the bull, I take it?
He's happy I've returned, if that's what you mean. Nearly crushed 3 of my ribs with that ridiculous hug.
You say that as if you didn't like it.
For such a great beast, he's a terrible sap. I want to talk about my feelings, Dorian. Ugh.
You do like it.
Quiet, you. He'll overhear. And then where will I be?
Another time.
I look forward to it.
An alluvion marked by a bookshelf. This should be it. Is this some sort of old elven library?
It definitely saw a massive magical backlash some time ago.
Let's hope we can track down the Vidasala in all this.
The Fade. Not good. I would rather be anywhere else. I mean, please yourself, Inquisitor Herald, but really, let's kill everything and be anywhere else.
Andaran Atishan, Methadra Elven.
More ancient elven.
If you wish, honored Elven, I will speak so your guests understand. I am study. I am a learning thirst. Come, know what has not been lost. New words, new stories. The Qunari would not approach, but we learned their words as well. If you wish to exchange knowledge, they congregate by the lower gate.
What did the old elves use this place for?
This is the Virdirthara, the living knowledge of the Empire. The libraries of every city, the wisdom of every court. A connecting place whose paths are in disarray.
What put this place into disarray?
The Virdirthara was made with world and fade. When they sundered, so did we. Paths broke, knowledge fragmented, many were trapped. I preserved their last words.
What were these old elves' last words?
What happened? Where are the paths? Where are the paths? God save me. The floor is gone. Do not let me fall. Do not let me... on this spot, that is all.
I could learn so much about my people. What were they like? How long is our history?
I will try to recall, honored patron, but there are gaps, breaks. Greetings, laughter, Ema Enasal, forms out of air, light, memories. And yet there are so many broken paths at every... missing.
Stop, please, stop. You don't need to hurt yourself.
Yes, wisdom from compassion. Yes, I will stop. Apologies. I knew all once. We knew. With the break, only fragments or knowledge new since the fall.
I'm looking for a Qunari named Vidasala. Do you know what she wants here?
Vidasala, yes. She uses scholars and mages for study. They fear this place, but they seek to know the Veil.
What does Vidasala want to know about the Veil?
I regret I do not have more information. I am sundered from myself. If you discover another one of me nearer the Qunari, I may know more. Kindly give it my greetings. I have not thought with myself for some time.
We'll be going now.
Know this. An unknown person, not of the Qunari, recently woke the librarians.
An unknown person. Could this be our agent of Fenharel?
The librarians facilitated learning before the fracture, before the fall. Now, beware them. They are unwell.
There, Qunari. On that... upside-down island.
How are they not chucking their guts just constantly?
That repaired some steps. Let's look around for more. The inverted alluvion must lead to the Qunari.
Did you notice? Your anchor is flaring up near magic. Elven magic.
What does that mean?
I'm not sure. Tell us if it gets worse.
These Qunari are dead, but there's not a mark on them.
Welcome, welcome. Listen to the last words of those who lived past the fall. How could the dread wolf cast a veil between the world that wakes and the world that dreams? The Evenures will send people. They will save us. When have you last heard from the gods? When the veil came down, they went silent. What is this veil? What has Fen'Harel done?
Are these records saying Fen'Harel created the veil between our world and the Fade?
That can't be true. Veil's always been there. No one made it.
If it's true, that means the Fade and the waking world were once one and the same.
These blocks are heading toward that upside-down Illuvian. It's a place of learning. Maybe this Vir Dathara is helping us find what we need. The pain stopped.
The magic here wakes it. Familiar, strong, ripping apart again, all again. Back when I was a spirit, this wouldn't have bothered me. Now it's all wrong.
More dead Qunari with terrified expressions.
Welcome, and listen to the last words of those who walked this place. If we get out of here, I will end Fen'Harel. After he held back the sky to imprison the gods, the dread wolf disappeared. Lies. We must tear down the veil, the cities, the pathways. Without magic, they're crumbling. You're wasting your time. Fen'Harel's veil has turned our empire to ruins.
So, The ancient Elven Empire collapsed because the Veil weakened magic.
Do you realize what this means? What this place is? The actual history of the elves could change everything. Look at this place. Now that we have so many samples, how hard would it be to build Illuvians of our own?
Mirrors to places that mirror what you've seen in those places.
Is that approval? Hard to tell with you.
Sorry, I don't know either.
After these past few years, it would just be good to create something magical that is also helpful for a change.
That should be enough stairs. Let's see if we can reach the inverted Illuvian now. They're the librarians.
Hello.
Deltos. Viramas, Chivera Milova.
Survivor of the Breach, Herald of Change, Hero of the South.
The Vidasala, I presume.
Wow.
After fulfilling your purpose at the Breach, it is astonishing to hear you still walked free among your people. Your duty is done, Inquisitor. It is time to end your magic.
The anchor repairs tears in the Veil. I would think you'd approve of that.
Is that all it does? Tell me, why hold your hand as if it's begun to pain you? I am no stranger to catastrophe, but this chaos in the south defies comprehension. The Qun left your people to curb your own magic. You've amply proven we should have stepped in long ago.
Is that what Dragon's Breath is for? Murdering our heads of state just to control our magic?
Do you believe closing the breach solved everything? That its consequences stopped there? The day we saw the breach, the Qun decided its action. We would remove your leaders and spare those who toil. This agent of Fenharel has disrupted everything. Lives that were to be spared, lost for him.
Who is this agent? Why do you think they work for the Inquisition?
Kill the Inquisitor, then follow me to the Dargarad.
These are Vidisala's papers. She brought mages here to research strengthening the Veil. It explains why the Qunari thought it was worth camping here. No wonder the Qunari translated notes into our language. It was for their non-Qunari spies.
Visitors, patrons, welcome. The halls are open.
Can you tell me where a Qunari called Vidisala went?
Yes, we heard much, although she fooled herself into thinking we could not hear. Take a keystone to the Davarad. I will join you there soon and take stock of our remaining Gatlock powder.
I found a keystone with one of the Qunari.
Yes, and you need words for their key. Maras Nira. It glows. It will open the way to the Davarad. May you find what you seek. In coming here, you strengthen the powers. I can now raise one, if you wish to go.
You've been very helpful.
Gildethal was what the Elven called me. One who guides seekers of knowledge true. I was connection. One city could read the records of another, one Elven feel the memories of another. When the Veil fell upon us, I marked the end of all they knew.
We've got to find the Davarad and corner Vidisala there.
Your agents confirm there are Gatlock battles in Denerim's palace?
Yes, and in Val Royeaux and across the Free Marches. The Winter Palace is not the only target.
The Qunari are one order from destroying every noble house in the known world.
There is a bright side. Warning the ambassadors will remind them of the Inquisition's value.
Not when the Inquisition is responsible for that threat.
They came in through us?
Yes.
How, damn it!
The elven servant handling the barrels confessed to working for the Qunari.
But the servant was Orlesian. That implicates Orlais, not us.
But the barrels arrived at the Winter Palace on the Inquisition supply manifest.
How are we supposed to fight a war when we can't even trust our own people?
Do you know who got the barrels onto the Inquisition manifest?
Yes, several of the Inquisition's elven workers have gone missing. I had their backgrounds checked. They joined the Inquisition after fleeing the chaos in Kirkwall.
I remember when Kirkwall was at its worst. Many of the city's elves converted to the Qun, trying to find a better life.
And the Qunari turned them into spies.
A few years ago, we railed at the mages at Redcliffe for becoming corrupt. We did the same to the Grey Wardens. Huh. Look at us now.
I fought to protect the Inquisition in this exalted council. And for what? So we could deceive and threaten those we claimed to protect?
Once we locate the spies...
This isn't about the spies! You hid the Qunari body. You all but seized control of the Winter Palace.
We did what was right, not what was politically convenient.
Do you know what this has cost us with Orlais and Ferelden? They are planning to dismantle us as we speak. And perhaps they are right.
Shit, damn it! We save Ferelden, and they're angry. We save Orlais, and they're angry. We close the breach twice, and my own hand wants to kill me. Could one thing in this fucking world just stay fixed? I need to get to the Davarad. You can all fight amongst yourselves once I'm back.
Thank you, Inquisitor.
Would you like us to inform the Exalted Council of the danger?
Yes. If we fail, the Exalted Council needs to know what happened.
I will inform them personally.
Leliana, I can...
No, your job is hard enough already. This is my responsibility.
I'll have guards ready at the Alluvion, in case the Qunari attack the palace.
Make her watch over you.
Red told us what happened with your hand.
No matter what happens, it has been my honor to fight beside each of you.
Enjoy me while you can. I expect you'll all miss me terribly later.
It's been an honor to kick asses beside you all. Anan.
Thank you. All of you.
The Davarat. All right, everyone, get ready.
It's an Alluvian graveyard.
Where did the Qunari get all these? How long have they been studying Alluvians? The sooner we stop this invasion plan, the better. We should hurry. Here they come!
Why are the Qunari calling this plan Dragon's Breath? What do dragons have to do with assassinating heads of state? I don't understand any of this. Patrolling guards. We need to deal with them as quickly as possible.
That's quite the door. It's open. Let's go. Dragon's Breath is an actual dragon?
Tethar! Bars!
Inquisition! Nira Atasiasara! Nirabas Adim Kata! Hisrat, now! Please! Vinekatas!
Not a chance, ma'am. Never better, Kadan.
I'm glad to hear it. Amatus.
So, boss, we're gonna fight the dragon or what?
Captors have already mutilated her. It seems needlessly cruel to kill her.
Those rings can clear a path for the dragon.
We will not let you cut down the Atashi.
Now we just need to open the gate.
You've got it. It's opening.
That's it. There goes our dragon.
Hashara! Dear Inquisitor, you have such little time left. You must finally see the truth. Elven magic already tore the sky apart. If the agents of Fen-Harel are not stopped, you will shatter the world as well.
The Inquisition has nothing to do with these agents.
Come, Inquisitor. I am the eyes and ears of the Qunari people. Do you think you can deceive me? You would have died from the mark on your hand, but for the help of one of their chief agents. The same agent who helped seal the breach, who led you to Skyhold, who gave Corypheus the orb, then founded the Inquisition. Solus, agent of Fen-Harel.
What?
Solus is an agent of Fen-Harel.
Did you not know? We thought you were his ally. Solus tricked us all. He pushed a dying Qunari into the Winter Palace to lure you into opposing us. Without him, we could have brought the South peace and wisdom along the gentle path. Now we must take the way of blades. Panahedon, Inquisitor. If it is any consolation, Solus will not outlive you.
That's why Solus left. He's been helping us fight the Qunari all this time. We have to save him.
The Vidasala cannot have gotten far.
It's going to! Everyone back! Ah!
If it keeps up like this, it will kill you. Solus must help, as he did at Haven. Solus, an agent of Fen'Harel. I should have suspected.
That must be where Solus is.
Ebesit kata, etwa ost.
Maraskata!
Your forces have failed. Leave now and tell the Qunari to trouble me no further.
Solus.
That should give us more time. I suspect you have questions.
The Qunari answered some of those questions. The information I found while traveling through the Illuvians answered more. You're Fen'Harel. You're the Dreadwolf.
Well done. I was Solus first. Fen'Harel came later. An insult I took as a badge of pride. The Dread Wolf inspired hope in my friends, and fear in my enemies. Not unlike Inquisitor, I suppose. And now you know. What is the old Baelish curse? May the Dread Wolf take you?
And so he did.
I did not. I would not lay with you under false pretenses.
But you lied to me. I loved you. Did you really think I wouldn't have understood?
Irabelas, Fanan.
Tell Abelas. If you care, give me the truth.
I sought to set my people free from slavery to would-be gods. I broke the chains of all who wished to join me. The false gods called me Fen'Harel, and when they finally went too far, I formed the Veil and banished them forever. Thus I freed the Elven people, and in so doing, destroyed their world.
How did creating the Veil destroy the world?
You saw the remains of Via Dathara. The library was intrinsically tied to the Fade, and the Veil destroyed it. There were countless other marvels, all dependent on the presence of the Fade, all destroyed. Your legends are half right. We were immortal. It was not the arrival of humans that caused us to begin aging. It was me. The Veil took everything from the elves. Even themselves.
You love the Fade. Why would you create the Veil to hide it all away?
Because every alternative was worse.
Meaning?
Had I not created the Veil, the Evanurus would have destroyed the entire world.
You said that the Elven gods went too far. What did they do that made you move against them?
They killed Mythal. A crime for which an eternity of torment is the only fitting punishment.
I thought Mythal was one of the Evanurus.
She was the best of them. She cared for her people. She protected them. She was a voice of reason. And in their lust for power, they killed her.
You banished the false gods. You didn't kill them.
You met Mythal, did you not? The first of my people do not die so easily. The Evanurus are banished forever, paying the ultimate price for their misdeeds.
The Evanurus were elven mages. How did they come to be remembered as gods?
Slowly. It started with a war. War breeds fear. Fear breeds a desire for simplicity. Good and evil, right and wrong, chains of command. After the war ended, generals became respected elders, then kings, finally gods. The Evanurus.
That's the past. What about the future?
I lay in dark and dreaming sleep while countless wars and ages passed. I woke still weak a year before I joined you. My people fell for what I did to strike the Evanurus down. But still, some hope remains for restoration. I will save the Elven people, even if it means this world must die.
Why does this world have to die for the elves to return?
A good question, but not one I will answer. You have always shown a thoughtfulness I respected. It would be too easy to tell you too much. I am not Corypheus. I take no joy in this, but the return of my people means the end of yours. It is my fight. You should be more concerned about the Inquisition. Your Inquisition. In stopping the Dragon's Breath, you have prevented an invasion by Qunari forces. With luck, they will return their focus to Tevinter. That should give you a few years of relative peace.
The Qunari said the Inquisition was unknowingly working for agents of Fen'Harel.
I gave no orders.
You led us to Skyhold.
Corypheus should have died unlocking my orb. When he survived, my plans were thrown into chaos. When you survived, I saw the Inquisition as the best hope this world had of stopping him. And you needed a home. Hence, Skyhold.
You gave your orb to Corypheus?
Not directly. My agents allowed the Venatori to locate it. The orb had built up magical energy while I lay unconscious for millennia. I was not powerful enough to open it. The plan was for Corypheus to unlock it, and for the resulting explosion to kill him. Then I would claim the orb. I did not foresee a Tevinter Magister having learned the secret of effective immortality.
What would have happened if Corypheus had died, and you'd recovered the orb?
I would have entered the Fade using the mark you now bear. Then I would have torn down the veil. As this world burned in the raw chaos, I would have restored the world of my time. The world of the elves.
If you destroyed the veil, wouldn't the false gods be freed?
I had plans.
So, at least some of the stories about the Dreadwolf are true.
I did not lead a rebellion against immortal mage kings without getting my hands bloody. You must understand. I awoke in a world where the veil had blocked most people's conscious connection to the Fade. It was like walking through a world of tranquil.
We aren't even people to you?
Not at first. You showed me that I was wrong. Again. That does not make what must come next any easier.
You control the Illuvians now?
Yes. You remember Briala from Halam Shiral? For a time, she controlled part of the labyrinth. One of my agents was supposed to take it from her, but he did not succeed. I had to override the magic personally. The Qunari stumbled upon this section independently. With them gone, the Illuvians are now mine.
What's wrong with the Inquisition?
You created a powerful organization, and now it suffers the inevitable fate of such. Betrayal and corruption.
It's not that simple.
Do you know how I discovered the Qunari plot? The plot I disrupted by leading them to your doorstep. The Qunari spies in the Inquisition tripped over my spies in the Inquisition. The Elven Guard who led you to the Qunari body? Who intercepted the servant with the Gatlock barrel? Mine.
Why bother disrupting the Qunari plot if you're going to destroy the world regardless?
You have shown me that there is value in this world, Inquisitor. I take no joy in what I must do. Until that day comes, I would see those recovering from the breach free of the Qun.
Why?
Because I am not a monster. If they must die, I would rather they die in comfort. In any event, it is done.
There's still the matter of the anchor. It's getting worse.
I know, Venan. And we are running out of time. The mark will eventually kill you. Drawing you here gave me the chance to save you. At least for now.
Solus. Varlath vir Suladin.
I wish it could, Venan. My love. I will never forget you.
Something must be done, but we cannot lose the Inquisition now. We stand on the brink of war with the Qunari.
Yes, because this Solas provoked them in the first place.
The Inquisition did not cause this threat. We informed the Summit of the danger.
The danger posed by Qunari spies inside your organization.
Without our organization, you would not be alive to complain.
No one has forgotten what you have done. but Corypheus is 2 years dead.
If the Inquisition is to continue, it must do so as a legitimate organization, not a glorified mercenary band.
Inquisitor.
You all know what this is? A writ from Divine Justinia authorizing the formation of the Inquisition. We pledge to close the breach, find those responsible, and restore order, with or without anyone's approval. It wasn't a formally authorized treaty that saved Ferelden's people. It wasn't careful diplomacy that ended your inane civil war. It was never about the organization. It was about people doing what was necessary. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a world to save. Again. Effective immediately, the Inquisition is disbanded.
My agents have found nothing. With the Illuvians, he could be anywhere.
With the Inquisition officially disbanded, we have no army, no formal alliances.
We have what we truly need.
We will need to be careful.
Solus knows everything about us. Who we are, how we work, our strengths and weaknesses.
Then we find people he doesn't know. We will save our friend from himself. If we can.
What is this? A new book? All this shit is weird. Oh, Varric, that is a terrible title. What are you even thinking? The sky churned like a rolling sea on a dark and stormy night, centered on a gaping hole that led to the arse end of nowhere. A hole that spit up many things that day, comets, demons, and a whole lot of trouble. It's about the Inquisition. The din of the tavern cut the silence like it owed the Carter money. In the middle, in her element, Red Jenny. She looked me up and down, mostly down. "Not playing, weirdy," she said, gesturing with and dismissively eating a sandwich. "Don't write that. Seriously, piss up a row." Sarah made the subtext text, which suited me fine. The court enchanter swirled into the room like a drop of beautiful poison spreading in a wineglass. She sized me up with a glance. "I'm so glad you made it, my dear," she said. "I am Madame de Fer, the most terrifying person you shall ever meet." Liliana enfolded Alphonse in an embrace as warm as a serpent's kiss. "I always knew I could count on your support." The Count did not feel the bite of her poisoned dart until it was too late. "Even if it requires your death." Drops of rain glistened on the griffin medallion grasped tightly in Blackwall's hand. "The silverite wings of valor, they mean nothing." He flung the medal to the cold and uncaring ground. "You don't know what I've done. You don't know me." So romantic. Cole moved like a shadow that also moved like a knife. A shadow wearing a hat where dreams came to die. "It's a riddle," he whispered. "A cold riddle that gnaws at your mind, but you'll feel better when it's gone." That makes as much sense as anything Cole says. "Do you place your herald above the law, Ambassador?" "Whose law, my lady?" Josephine's eyes glittered like angry opals. "The law destroyed by rebellion, by civil war, by poor fiscal management. We are the law." We left our mark on adamant, but the dust hadn't settled, and neither had Harding. "I can offer you a drink, if I catch your meaning." "If you'd caught my meaning, you'd have offered a double." What is even happening here? The Iron Bull was a great slab of muscle with horns that could hang a tapestry. One eye scanned for threats, while the other hid behind an eye patch like a chantry's sister's old sins. "Come on," he barked, not looking back as he entered. "The dancer with the great rack comes on in 5. That is spot on, actually. The commander had the look of a Templar who had seen the worst of humanity, yet still had the time to style his hair. "This isn't just a war," he said, his gaze steely like a dull blade. "It's the only war." "Cullen! That's Cullen!" The mage wore a class of handsome sneer cultivated by 1,000 years of Tevinter elitism. "The name's Dorian," he glared. "Dorian. Spell it right, you marble-headed lump, or it's toad time." A toad? That's hardly credible. The bold elf spun, mage staff crackling like the city after a good man's murder. "You're crazy!" the Red Templar cried in terror. Moonlight glinted off ears like the knives you never see coming. Better to fade out than burn away. Ugh, Varric. Wait, where am I? I don't... Oh, here it is. The Seeker clutched at my vest, her tears as desperate as they were pitiful. "Varric, I was wrong about everything," she sobbed. "Could you find it in your noble heart to forgive me?" That dwarf, he put me in the book! I'm in the book! I am reading the shit out of this!